In this video, we're going over the new top 5 best SMG class setups in Black Ops 6 after the recent update. All of the SMGs received a buff, which is making them better at the longer ranges, so we gotta switch up the class setups a bit. If you guys enjoy, feel free, drop a like on the vid, subscribe to the channel, turn those post notifications. Let's get into it. For class setup number 1, we're taking a look at the C9. This weapon received a buff in the damage range department, which is a massive W, making this weapon a lot better than it already was. Obviously, we're not going to run an optic on the C9. The iron sights are fantastic. No need to burn an attachment here. For the muzzle, definitely go ahead and put on the suppressor or the compensator, depending on if you want additional vertical recoil control or keeping yourself off the radar. I like to stay off the radar so I can go on streaks and obviously get into the spawn and build up a fast and easy streak. Now, for the barrel, we do not have to rock the long barrel anymore. You can run it if you choose to, but the reinforced barrel is going to be the new best choice to improve both damage range and bullet velocity. Because we already got a damage buff, let's go ahead and improve that bullet velocity on top of that, making the C9 a lot better. For the underbarrel, I do recommend going ahead and putting on the vertical foregrip still, specifically on the C9. This is great because this weapon does have some weird horizontal recoil that we are going to have to iron out to make sure this weapon is easy to use at longer ranges. For the magazine, the flip mag is going to be the best choice because the reload speed is unfortunately still slow. Honestly, it would have been cool if they sped up the reload speed on the C9 as a part of the weapon balance update that went live, but we're still going to have to rock the flip mag. It's still, you know, a good attachment. Now, finally, for the rear grip, if you want to rock the 5 attachment setup, we are going to be utilizing the CQB grip. This is going to be a great attachment to improve that sprint to fire speed, slide to fire speed, as well as dive to fire speed. Overall, a great attachment allowing us to get down and dirty at those close ranges. I'm going to go ahead and showcase the 5 attachment class setup. If only you want to rock 5 attachments, you guys can see here it is going to be a very solid submachine gun that is going to have a fast ADS, control recoil, and a respectable sprint out speed. A very nice SMG to go ahead and rock. Now, if you want to go ahead and run more attachments with Gunfighter, I do recommend putting on a stock, and the combat stock is going to be fantastic, improving your flinch resistance and aim walking movement speed. You can't go wrong here. We're going to be able to walk around, aim down sight, ready to win each and every gunfight and have less flinch when shot, so we can win more gunfights at those close to medium ranges. We're skipping over the lasers. These are terrible on the C9. And we're also going to be going ahead and running a fire mod, which is going to be recoil springs to make things a lot easier with improved horizontal recoil as well as vertical recoil control. Overall, a fantastic attachment. Technically, this is going to be a 7 attachment build, but after the buff, honestly, this is what I would rock because we're going to make this weapon the best it can possibly be. But I like to go ahead and give you guys 5 attachment builds just in case you do not want to rock 7 or potentially 8 attachments on your class. You can't go wrong with this submachine gun. For class setup number 2, we are going to be rocking the TANTO 22, which also received a damage range increase. This is a great buff to this submachine gun. Now, for the optic, I recommend putting on the Kevlar Microflex. Overall, a massive W. The TANTO 22 is essentially a pocket AR. This is going to allow us to outgun players at those medium to longer ranges a lot easier. Now, for the muzzle, we have to put on the compensator to improve that vertical recoil control. This is a very important attachment because we need to have a very accurate submachine gun because we are running another attachment on this class setup that's technically going to be hurting this weapon's long range performance. Now, luckily, after the buff, you do have 2 choices under the barrel category, which is nice depending on if you want to run a gun or use this weapon as a pocket assault rifle. If you want to run it as a pocket assault rifle, you do not have to rock the long barrel anymore. The reinforced barrel is going to be a good choice, improving that bullet velocity as well as damage range. Now, if you want to run and gun with this weapon, which you obviously can, the short barrel is going to be a good choice, improving that jumping aim down sight speed and jumping sprint to fire speed. For practicality, I like to rock the reinforced barrel. Now, if you want to go ahead and have this weapon no recoil at all, you're going to have to put on the underbarrel, and the vertical foregrip is going to be the better attachment under all these for the TANTO 22, improving that horizontal recoil. This weapon does have some weird recoil that we're going to go ahead and correct with this attachment, overall making this submachine gun nasty. Now, if you do want to run just the 5 attachment class setup, we're going to be skipping over all these other attachments except the fire mod, and we are going to be putting on rapid fire, which is going to be bumping up the fire rate, allowing us to go crazy at any and all ranges. Once you go ahead and jump into the fire range with the 5 attachment setup, you're going to see here that we have a build that's going to be accurate, and it's also going to be able to outgun players at any and all ranges here. I really do enjoy the 5 attachment build. If you guys like the 5 attachment class setups, don't feel like you need to rock more, but if you want to maximize the TANTO 22, we are going to put on a magazine. We're definitely going to rock the flip mag so we have a faster reload. This gun doesn't have the fastest fire rate by default, so the 40 round extended mag is not necessary. Having a fast reload is definitely going to be better. And for the rear grip, we are going to be rocking the CQB grip to improve that sprint to fire speed, dive to fire speed, and slide to fire speed, just to enhance that close range performance. And we are also going to run a stock, which is going to be the combat stock, which is going to be adding that flinch resistance and aim walking movement speed so we can outgun everybody we see after the recent update. Overall, a great class setup. As you guys can see here, once we go ahead and jump into the firing range, we're going to have a build that literally is going to be disgusting. Definitely go ahead and give this class a try if you're looking for a rock solid TANTO 22 setup. For class setup number 3, we are going to be rocking the PP919, a solid submachine gun. I'm really glad they went ahead and buffed this weapon as well. We don't need the optic. The iron sights are fantastic on this SMG. Now, for the muzzle, because this weapon already has very, very low recoil, the suppressor is going to be the best choice, taking us off the radar. Now, for the barrel, luckily after the buff, we don't have to run the long barrel anymore, but we are going to rock the reinforced barrel to improve that damage range and bullet velocity, just to give this weapon that extra kick. Now, we are going to be running a magazine. This is where things get kind of different here. We're not going to run extended mag 1 or the fast mag 1. Instead, we're going to run fast mag 2. This weapon already has a very large ammo capacity, so bumping this down to 40 is not going to hurt it whatsoever. We're actually going to go ahead and help this weapon out, because you guys can see we have improved sprint to fire speed, reload quickness, and aim down sight speed. Everything we need to make a submachine gun better at the ranges that it's going to be dominant at. Now, for the rear grip, because it's a submachine gun, we are going to be utilizing the CQB grip to take advantage of close range performance with that dive to fire speed, sprint to fire speed, and slide to fire speed. We definitely need that. And for a 5 attachment class, we are going to rock a rapid fire for our fire mods, which is going to be overall jacking up this weapon's close range performance. Because this gun does not have a lot of recoil, we can get away with the cons. Once you go ahead and jump into the firing range, you're going to be very, very happy with this setup, because you guys see we have a fast ADS, controllable recoil, and obviously the sprint to fire speed is going to be nice as well. This is going to be one of the only submachine guns where you actually truly do not need a max attachment class setup. You still can go ahead and rock the stock, which is going to be giving this a 6 attachment build, and I do recommend putting on the infiltrator stock here so we have the maximum aim walking movement speed. We do not need the combat stock on this class setup, which is going to be giving us added flinch resistance. It's definitely better to have on the infiltrator stock, because you're going to see here we're going to have a very, very fast aim walking speed, so you can essentially walk around, aim down sight, ready to win each and every gunfight with a submachine gun that has a 40 round magazine by default, a much faster reload time, and overall just solid performance. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think of the PP919. For class setup number 4, we're gonna be rocking the KSV, aka the mini AS Val. This weapon is a melt machine after the buff. For the optic, we don't need these because the iron sights are fantastic on the submachine gun, which is nice for some freedom with other attachments we can run. Now, for the muzzle, the compensator is a must. This weapon has very hard vertical recoil. We have to mitigate. For the barrel, luckily after the update, we can go ahead and put on the reinforced barrel to take advantage of damage range, bullet velocity. That's all we need. For the underbarrel, just like the AS Val, the vertical recoil has to be go ahead and kept in check with the horizontal recoil. So having the vertical foregrip is gonna be a nice attachment to completely smooth out the recoil pattern. For the magazine, we are going to be rocking extended mag 2 here. We're going to be maxing it out with the 50 round mag. This weapon is still going to have great handling, which is a massive W, and why I really do feel this is the mini AS Val. Now, for the last attachment, we are going to be going ahead and putting on a fire mod here, and that's going to be the recoil springs. We're going to go ahead and maximize that recoil control with the submachine gun when you are rocking just the 5 attachment class setup with more horizontal and vertical recoil control. Once you go ahead and build this setup, again, this is just the 5 attachment build. We can go ahead and build on this. You're going to see that we still have a ridiculously fast sprint out speed, aim down sight speed, and overall a class setup that is seriously going to be a point and shoot laser. There is no recoil with this weapon, and the reload speed is still very nice. Now, if you want to go ahead and maximize this weapon's performance, we're going to go ahead and add a stock, and we're definitely going to put the combat stock on here because we're going to be running and gunning with that improved flinch resistance and a walking movement speed. And we're also going to be putting on a rear grip with that CQB grip to improve more sprint to fire speed, slide to fire speed, and dive to fire speed. Fantastic. Once you go ahead and build this setup, you're going to see that we seriously have a faster ADS, faster sprint out speed, aim walking speed is nice, and obviously 0-0 recoil. This is truly one of the best SMGs in the entire game right now. Give this a go. And finally, for class setup number 5, we're going to be rocking the good old JACKAL PDW. This weapon is nasty after the update. Now, I have the pre-ordered variant, so I don't have to run an optic. If you do not have the pre-ordered variant, the Kevlar Microflex is going to be a mandatory attachment. For the muzzle, we're going to rock the compensator. Vertical recoil is a must. This weapon still has a lot of kick here in multiplayer, unfortunately. For the barrel, after the buff, we have to rock the reinforced barrel to bump up that velocity and damage range. Now, for the underbarrel, again, unfortunately, we still have to use this attachment because it has a lot of recoil. Horizontal is a no-no, so the vertical foregrip is going to be helping us out tenfold. For the magazine, extended mag 1 is going to be the best choice. Stay far away from the other attachments. They are going to be negatively impacting this weapon's performance, and we definitely do not want that to happen. Now, for the 5 attachment build, when you have the pre-order bonus, you are going to be putting on the rear grip, and the CQB grip is going to be great, improving this weapon's close and medium range performance with that improved sprint to fire speed, slide to fire speed, and dive to fire speed. I keep reiterating this because this is going to be seriously a great attachment on some of these submachine guns that have to maximize that close and mid-range performance. Once you go ahead and jump into the fire range with this class setup, you're going to be very happy because if you have the pre-order bonus, you have a fast ADS, sprint to fire speed is nice, and essentially a very, very low recoil setup that you can get down with at any and all ranges. Now, if you want to run more attachments on this weapon, you can go ahead and put on a stock and equip the combat stock to help us out at those medium ranges as well with that improved flinch resistance and aim walking movement speed. Definitely a nice attachment. And for the fire mod, I do recommend putting on recoil springs to jack up even more horizontal recoil control and vertical recoil control. Once you go ahead and build this class setup, you're going to see here that we have pretty much the same handling, but even less recoil, which is going to be nice. So honestly, if you just want to have a point and shoot submachine gun, having on gunfighter is going to be a nice choice. Now, if you do not have the pre-order variant, you're going to have to put on an optic, and the Kevlar Microflex is going to be necessary. You're going to see here that essentially we're going to have the same setup, but with a cleaner optic because the default variants iron sights are horrible on this weapon, unfortunately. These are going to be the top 5 best SMG class setups to use here in Black Ops 6 after the recent update. If you are going to be rocking the 8 or 7 attachment or 6 attachment class setups, I recommend putting on the Strider .22 as your secondary, but if you find a weapon off the ground, feel free to go ahead and swap it out for that. Rock the combat knife. We have on the stim shot, frag grenade, assault pack, and we are utilizing scavenger, assassin, bankroll, enforcer because we are running 3 perks under the same family, and gunfighter. Gunfighter is necessary if you want to run more than 5 attachments on your weapon. But if you only want to run a 5 attachment setup, go ahead and swap gunfighter out for perk greed, and we are going to be replacing dexterity, which it sometimes glitches out to, or ghost. So when it works properly, we are going to be running scavenger, assassin, bankroll, enforcer, as well as ghost. Let me know down in the comment section if you do tear it up with any of these class setups. I recommend checking out these submachine guns right now because they are part of the hard meta here in Black Ops 6. after all the buffs. If you guys enjoy, feel free, drop a like on the vid, subscribe to the channel, turn those post notifications, in your boy ears, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.